Yeah. So how I usually start is by accident. Everything about drawing for me tends to be a happy accident. And I usually start with a sense of movement of the line. Um, Maybe just a curved organic pattern unfolds in a very random, spontaneous way. And I guess that's what's really fun about doodling. It's kind of an exploration into the unknown. I don't really have any preconceived ideas about what this is going to look like. I don't have a picture in my mind. I'm just kind of allowing the lines to playfully move around in space, dimension, and time, I guess. There's something so visceral about using a pen on paper as well versus the iPad or Procreate, which I enjoy a lot too these days. I've been messing around with Procreate a lot. If any of you follow me on Facebook or Instagram, I definitely post my artwork more regularly over there. I'm pretty slow with YouTube, but yeah, like I said, I'm trying to get on the regular. So something I like to do once I've put down a few lines is start to look for which part of the shape could be used as the 3D depth or 3D element. And usually I'll just cross-hatch that or put some kind of line shading into it. Where else can I go? So it's almost like a dance through line. I just have fun with it, and the feeling it gives me is peacefulness. I love the peacefulness of repeating lines and patterns. It kind of just relaxes me, and I'm sure it relaxes you too. I'm sure a lot of people who enjoy watching art videos probably enjoy art materials themselves. So it's always wonderful to see other people's work too. So I just am adding this little dashed pattern. I feel a kind of elliptical shape near the bottom. I really like observing nature as well. I guess a lot of the shapes and the forms I'm inspired by are quite organic, but then sometimes I can also contrast them with more geometric shapes or shapes that I see in the city. All those squares and triangles of buildings. And I just find all of it so beautiful, whether it's man-made or made by nature. Even though there's a lot going on in the world right now, I still see so much beauty around me. You know, a neighbor's friendly smile, or kids just blowing bubbles in the street. You know, small moments. A butterfly floating around me. Sometimes that feels a lot more real than the bombardment of media that we get through our phones and screens and the metaverse and all of that that's happening. I have some art and design students, and they're teenagers, they're young adults, adults really. Some of them are 20, 21 as well, and they really enjoy gaming. I do too, I guess, but and they find that really relaxing. It's a wonderful escape. really enjoy gaming, but there's something so simple about a pen and a paper that is a completely different kind of escape. It's an engaged or interactive escape where you are creating as you go rather than being led by somebody else's creation, which is always nice to explore what's going on within ourselves, even though it might not really make sense, much like this drawing. It's just totally abstract, but I love the movement of line. Maybe I'll add some music to this video as well. Just thinking out loud. I got inspired by watching some doodle videos of other popular YouTube artists. I thought, why don't I try this as well? I really like ASMR videos too. I suppose my voice is kind of having that effect. Could probably put people to sleep. Much more active on other platforms, but I'd like to experiment more with YouTube, so today's a good step, I think, in the right direction, even though there's nobody in this live room right now. But I love how I can just instantly film a drawing and it'll upload it for me without having to do much work. So that's super efficient. Pretty neat. So I'm just doing this in a completely unconscious manner, and I'm wondering now, now that I'm looking at it and taking a minute, whether I should contrast these curved shapes with something more angular, and cube-like. So we have a mix of the organic and mechanistic forms, which I so very enjoy. And I think that's where we are in humanity at the moment. How can we merge all the incredible technologies we've created with the organic world in a better way where we don't destroy it? I love reading about bio-nanotechnology and kind of the developments in medical sciences with bio-like robots, you know. I just think it's incredible what's going on. Being able to take a pill that's not just a bunch of chemicals, but a bunch of tiny robots that help your body heal. It's also scary. It's also the holistic thought that, plant medicine or all the medicines we need are found in the rainforests. We have pollution problems, every kind of pollution, noise pollution, mental pollution, visual pollution, soil pollution, air, water. Every element is going through some kind of pollution. I wonder if microplastics will be kind of used by Mother Nature, or animals and organisms would adapt to microplastics. That's always a crosses my mind. But of course, there's been extinction and a lot of suffering with pollutants in the ocean. But over time, would the power of evolution work? Would the power of nature's evolution adapt to all the bullshit we humans put out into nature? This has always been the core of my art practice. Line, space, and form. I always return to this. It brings me so much peace. My newer work is more figurative. I have a lot more creatures and animals and children. I became a mother past few years, which was an interesting journey. So I'm drawn more to figurative forms now instead of the abstract, but doodling and line art is still where I'm most comfortable. But that doesn't mean I should do it all the time. I always want to try and move past what's easy and what's comfortable. But today, since it's my first time filming a YouTube live, I thought I would just do what's comfortable, because the uncomfortable part is the video recording. So that's about as much as I can manage right now. I hope this microphone isn't too soft. I shall find out. This is a test. Just seeing how this stuff works, really. This video has been going on for 15 minutes. So 15 minutes just flies by when you're doodling. Feels like 30 seconds. I could probably do this for 3 hours. I've drawn on a whole wall before. Actually, many walls. And I really enjoy that. I love to paint murals. Every so often I get asked to do a mural, and I so very enjoy it. I haven't actually sat down to doodle in a long time. I've been doing so much digital work, manipulating graphics into little looping animations and making drawings in Procreate and minting NFTs and that kind of thing. Although crypto has taken a nosedive today and of late. But that's how it goes, I guess. A lot of people holding on. Invest what you're prepared to risk and no more. I might add a figure, maybe a woman sitting down, just to give a sense of scale. I'd like to think this could be a huge object. It could also be something very micro, but that all depends on scale and what object you place next to it and what you can compare it to. Like if I put a little ship here, a little boat, or if I put it amongst the clouds, could look different. I really enjoy Photoshop. As well, and manipulating images, creating collages. I love surrealism. I met an incredible surrealist artist recently from Russia, and her Instagram was so impressive. Her name was Sheldon, I think. Sheldon. I actually didn't know about her before, but she has hundreds of thousands of fans. She deserves it. Her work is just incredible. She does classical oil painting, but in a surrealist manner. She's inspired by her dreams and imagination. Really, really beautiful stuff. Mm-hmm. Kind of rather relaxing mood today. I have no urgent work or deadlines at the moment. In the next hour, although my kid gets home from school, so I might hang with her. I don't even know what this is looking like, but the sensation I enjoy, and I'm not sure whether you do as well, but the sensation that I really enjoy is the way the eye travels from one line to the next, and that kind of hypnotic effect that can sometimes arise out of that. Just the way the eye moves, and it pulls me out of my mind and into the paper, and kind of stops my thoughts for a second. And that's what I find so meditative and relaxing about this. But I'm not the only one. There's a lot of doodlers and Zen Tanglers out there who feel the same way, and I would love to see what you all do as well. If any other doodle artist, finds this video by accident, it'd be great to see what you do. So now I'm wondering, should I add a bit of color or should I leave this kind of brown? It's not a finished composition yet, but I'm just playing for the purpose of this video. I'm just absolutely playing. I think brown and turquoise is nice. I bought these wonderful markers some time ago. Excuse me. Yeah. Oh, it's upside down. Clean color. That's it. Chalk pastel. And I really like the matte look of them. I suppose that's why it's called chalk. Chalky. It's kind of a chalky, pastel-y marker. I think it's water-based. It's not permanent. I will cut this video at 30 minutes, I think. I think that's enough. So however much I get done in half an hour is how much I get done. I just feel like it will be too long, and I'm not sure anybody's gonna sit through it anyways. But I find joy in trying new things and sharing them. And YouTube is definitely a platform in which I want to explore more than I haven't really been. And I've had this list of like video topics in my Google Docs that I've had for years and kind of not done anything about it. So I think maybe this is the year I become more disciplined about that and approach some things, and maybe make regular content. I'd like to try that. Something I haven't really tried. I've just been posting whenever I felt like it, casually, you know. So sometimes I post once in 3 months or 6 months. I'm gonna try and get that down to once a month and maybe once a week. I don't know. See how that goes. What is the purpose of making art? The purpose of making art? Well, it's kind of a completely engaged process where you're not really consuming or partaking in feelings of lack. I find a wholeness about making art, because you don't need anything besides yourself and the materials, and it's a complete experience, you know. It's a complete experience on its own. And I think everybody can access that feeling of creating more than you consume. And the sense of joy in creation, where you're not shopping or looking for something or trying to find someone or try to make money or running after, I don't know, some goals or this or that. It's got nothing to do with anything of the human world in that sense. You know, you're just sitting and engaged in a creative process, regardless of what the world is or isn't. And I just think that's really beautiful. And I think sharing it is even more beautiful. I've been so inspired by others. You know, and seeing the perspectives of other creatives and craft. I love craft a lot too. There's a lot to be said for craft. A lot of art schools at the moment, especially in Western countries, I think, it's less emphasis on craft in fine art, which I think is such a shame. I live in Thailand and there's still kind of a respect for craft here. You know, everything has become very conceptual, which has its place. Ideas, you know, Marcel Duchamp, Ai Weiwei, politics, socialism, social aspects, or where does art meet society, art meet culture? Yeah, but craft is also, for me, worth respect. That was funny. So we got 3 minutes to go, but yeah, craft for me is also worth respecting, the discipline and the amount of time it takes to perfect a skill. I don't think a lot of modern artists create work in the same manner as artists centuries ago, where they devoted their entire lives to sometimes a singular project. You know, now it takes, everybody wants to finish something quickly, including myself. How can we get it done quicker, make it have impact, and get it done quick? Or perhaps the question is more, well, beauty and skill doesn't matter anymore. What matters is the idea, or the idea of what you're trying to convey. I think beauty is akin to godliness. To experience beauty, or, I mean, in music, no one really questions that. The feeling of music, the beauty in music, emotions in music can be entirely abstract. Sometimes lyrics don't even make sense, or songs that don't have lyrics. You know, you can still feel an emotional impact. This has been oddly therapeutic. And I got a minute to go and I'll wrap this up. So I haven't really completed it, but kind of had fun talking and being random for a bit and trying new things. So I hope you enjoyed this relaxing afternoon with me and my thoughts. It would be great if you are a creative person, to see what you make and what you do too. You know, I love meeting other artists. I'm meeting a lot of other artists on Clubhouse. That's how I fell into the NFT world, you know, and I just find it so inspiring. So if you happen to make your own stuff too, do leave a link in the comments or something. I'll definitely go check it out. All right, I might leave it there. This is rather addictive. I could just keep going, but I think I will say good day. And thank you for coming along with me here. Bye bye.